Hey, what's up? My name is Seb de la Web, and I'm going to talk about how to save time, because in the end of the day, we're all building and managing websites. And with just some easy tricks, you can save yourself a lot of time and do other stuff. Because to be honest, I'd rather be outside or, spend times with my kids and my family. So 5 little tips and tricks and hacks that will probably save you a lot of hours. So let's dive in. So I'm going to use the website of my wife, and the first thing that I'm going to do is show you how I am using and utilizing UX blocks. Because probably and I've created a separate video that I will link on YouTube where you can click and learn all about the UX blocks. It's just a way to centralize and globalize certain elements, and that sounds very techy, but you just make one element and then you place that element on different pages or different areas, and then you can just change or edit only that component, and then it will be changed on every page. So you don't have that single element statically on each page. So let me show you. This is the website of my wife, and I'm scrolling down, and here you can see she's offering a free course, and it's so important for her because it's a lead generator element. It could also be like a call to action or something like that. And since she is using and reusing this specific component on different pages, this is the home page, but let me just go to, for example, the reviews page. And when I scroll down, all the way down below, the free course is offered as well. And I think even on the about page, when I scroll all the way down, here's the free course as well. So when you have an understanding of certain elements that you're going to reuse anyway on different pages, then I highly recommend creating a UX block. And if you're just starting off with Flatsome, the UX blocks can be found here in WordPress on the backend on the left. And as you can see, I'm having a lot of these UX blocks. You can also use a plugin to folderize and structurize it a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to quickly show you how to create a certain UX block. So I'm going to open up the UX builder. And let's say for this little tutorial, I want to make sure that these icon boxes are now a UX block. So I'm going to see and see which element is managing or containing all the important elements. So I guess for now I will take this row. I will give it a name because that's just easy for me. I call it icons. And what I would do is I will copy as shortcode. And it's not always working. Sometimes Flatsome has some flaws, but now you can see the shortcode of that specific element is copied out or available to be copied. So I've done this, and I go now back to the UX block section in WordPress, add new. I'm just calling this icons. I'm going to paste the shortcode in, and then I'm going to publish. If you're seeing the Gutenberg editor, I'm not sure if that's possible even for UX blocks, but then it's better to go directly inside the UX builder, then click on add elements, and then import the shortcode here. But now, as you can see, the icons has been placed inside a UX block. And now what I can do is just click on add to columns. So inside that column, I'm just going to find that UX block by searching on blocks. And now I'm just going to select icons. And now this specific element, I'm just going to delete this, is now created or transformed into a UX block. And now you can see when you're logged in inside WordPress, you can see this tooltip indicating that it is a UX block and it can be added on the fly. I'm clicking on UX builder, and I can now only edit this specific element, and I cannot click anywhere else. So now when I want to reuse this icon, these icons on a different page, I just go, for example, to the reviews page. I'm opening up the UX builder again, and let's say I want to have those same icons, but here down below I'm clicking on block, searching on icons, and now you can see they're been placed here. And the nice thing now is that since it's a globalized block, I can just change something here. So let's say I'm just going to put, just for this tutorial, like 3 dots. All right, apply, update, closing it down. And now when I'm going to the home page, you see those 3 dots as well. So now we have one element that can be placed on multiple pages and can be controlled or managed at one place. So it's just an easy trick, and I'm using it a lot for my website, especially when you're having call to action, testimonials, or certain stuff that I'm just, because I don't want to have any problems with my wife in this stage. So I'm just going to take that out. So here we go. All right, so it's done. It's now a UX block. So we can continue. So there's a ton of time that can be saved by working with presets and templates, or actually options, I need to say. So let me first show you the presets options. So once you have a certain section or a hero or a banner that you want to reuse at different places again, what you can do is, let me give you the best example. In a lot of cases, this kind of design, so having an image on the left or the right and having text on the other side, is a thing that I'm going to use at many places on my website. And I did probably a lot of, customizations in terms of padding and image height, etc. And let's say I want to reuse that on different pages, and I don't want to use that UX block because that will only then I only have the possibility to use one image, one type of image and one type of text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the row. I'm going to say save as preset. I'm calling this image image plus text, for example. And now what I can do is I can just add something in the UX builder. Clicking on row, make sure you select the element that you have saved as a preset, meaning you can make a preset of everything. So you can also make a preset of a button, make a preset of an image. But if you make a preset of an image, make sure to select an image inside your UX builder so it recognizes the preset. So I'm now just going to click on add to section, clicking on row. And now you can see the preset image plus text is available. And then it will be directly imported, and you can just change it around and nothing will happen with the things that are there above. It's just basically inserted just as a new element. All right, so that's what I wanted to say about the presets. And one of the other things that I really like to use is the way that you can copy paste options. So let's say, for example, and this can be done with anything as well. So let's say here, for example, I have a button, and maybe this button has a certain styling that we have, like 50 pixels, 50 pixels, 50 pixels, 50 pixels, something like this. I will probably never do it like this, but just for a reference. And I like this, and I just want to reuse this again. But I have a certain button. Do I have another button somewhere else? This is all UX blocks, so it's difficult. Here you can see another button. So what I can just easily do is I'm just going to copy the options and then just paste the options on top of it. And it will just take all the options that you have configured here on the left in terms of assigning that to that specific element. So you can copy those options and then paste it on it. So let's say, yeah, it's difficult now. I'm just going to also open up this specific UX block with the icons that we have just done. And let's say this icon, I just wanted to have it a little bit bigger, like 80 pixels. And now I want to have that for the other ones. I'm just going to do copy options and then just right click, paste, right click, paste. So that saves tremendous amount of time, and you can do that for every element, and it will copy every option that you have configured here on the left. All right, let's continue. So now let's talk about create, make responsive, and duplicate. So what I do, and that also really saves me during my building process. Let me open up the UX builder for the entire homepage again. So when it comes, especially working with columns and rows, because a website is built up with these things, let me just go down below. What I do in most cases is first I create one column. So like this. And then inside, for example, I'm going to have like an image box. And what I can do now is make that like like, no, let's make it like this, like 4, and give it a white background. I'm just going to quickly just make something out of it. So now I'm happy with this result, and I guess now I'm going to make it responsive. So first I'm going to create, then I make responsive, because I don't really like how it's looking now here on tablet. So in most cases I choose already to go forward with 12 even on tablet, so it has a nice full width layout. And then on mobile it will probably already do like 12. Maybe I want to have the text aligned to the left, and on desktop I want to have it in the middle. And now, you know, I first do all my responsive styling for just one element, for one column, and when I'm satisfied, then I'm going to duplicate the column. So I'm just doing right click, duplicate, and I can duplicate again. So that's a very, you know, good approach instead of doing this all manually. So make sure first you create your column with all the stuff that you really like, and then start duplicating it. And you can even, you know, duplicate rows as well. You can duplicate as much as you want, but I always highly recommend first do the responsive part, because if you decide to, you know, do the responsive part when you already duplicated everything, you need to manually change everything. So first create, do the responsive part, and then duplicate. All right, so let's continue. So when you have a website that is containing a lot of landing pages, and you have something like a directory or any kind of website or web shop containing a lot of pages, it is an easy way to really create presets of your entire page as well. So let me show you what I mean by that. I guess the homepage is not really a most likely page that I'm going to use and reuse. So let's say the about page is a page that I can also use for a different landing page, and not use it for the about but for different purposes. So what I can do is open up the UX builder, going to this little settings gear, and then save as template. And I'm calling this now about. I could also say landing page about, something like that. So now I have a landing page, like an about landing page at my disposal that I can use for any kind of new page that I'm going to create. So I'm going to create a new page. I'm just calling this a test page, publish. And I will open up my UX builder again. I'm going now to custom, and then I can select the landing page about, and it will copy paste the landing page directly inside the page. So it's just a way of building up your presets, and it's only visible when you don't have any content. So if you want to paste that entire page inside a page where there's already elements existing, you need to clear the content first, because that is the only way when you're seeing this stuff, and then click on custom and then insert your preset. So that's about creating a lot of landing pages, and you can do that for your contact page or other stuff. And also a lot of our e-commerce businesses. So for example, this is just a page that we did a redesign for. So let me check. I think no. So we have these pages for terms, privacy, conditions, shipping, delivery, etc. And creating these kind of presets for these kind of pages, because they all look the same, comes very handy. All right. So one of the last thing that I want to mention is that it's very easy. You can just save yourself a lot of time by enabling the auto updates of Flatsome. A lot of people probably already have that, but when you have a license, and please buy your license to make sure you have your updates and you're safe for future releases, and also for hack and preventing any problems, make sure to buy your license, because then you can enable the auto updates. And you can even choose to decide, if you're like an advanced web designer, you can go to the advanced section, and then here at the update section you can even say, okay, I already want to get access to the beta, and then you will get early access to whatever is released. Only, working for my clients, I rather go for the stable releases when it comes to auto updates. All right, last thing but not least is I just wanted to give this as a bonus. It's not really in terms of optimizing your speed performance in building, but you can optimize a lot of speed by going through the Flatsome Advanced section. And I will go through them very quickly because you can disable a lot of stuff that you don't need anyway. Well, I'm not using it. So go to performance. You can, enable all this stuff to make sure it's even better performing in terms of speed. However, sometimes if you're working with speed performance plugins, these checkboxes, these options can interfere. Keep that in mind. So if you're facing any kind of issue, you can always check it out and disable them again to see if the problem is solved. One of the other things that I always like to disable is the portfolio module. This is enabled by default, and then you get the portfolio module enabled. I'm not sure if this is really affecting speed performance, but you will get an extra block here on the left, and it's even more confusing for our clients. So I always disable the enable portfolio item. One of the other stuff is the integrations. So I always, I'm not using the Flatsome Studio. We have our own library, of course. You can also go to flatsomedesigns.com, where we're even offering free pre-made designs. So make sure to check them out. But the Flatsome Studio is also a library with pre-made designs that I even contributed to create designs for the community. But since I'm not using it a lot, I also disable the UX builder. And one of the global settings, I think here down below, is that if you're still working with a very old Flatsome version, the Flatsome 2, then make sure to disable this again, because they're even highlighting it that it will speed up your website. So that's it, guys. So thank you for watching. Hopefully it was very useful just to, speed up your process. And yeah, if you like what we're creating, make sure to have a look at sepdelaweb.com, where we have free stuff, in-depth tutorials, and you can even book a free intake if you want us to be a part of doing a redesign transformation of your existing website or web shop. So thanks again, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.